Hey Ross Valley CrossFit fam, Dr. Ashley Mack here. I'm going to be sharing with you some weekly videos to get you all prepared as well as recover from the week's workouts. So this is going to be the first of many video series, and this video in particular is going to be addressing the week of June 20th. And as you know, in CrossFit, we have a various number of movements that get implemented on a weekly basis. So these tools will actually be really helpful in getting you prepared for the workout, but also get you to recover. So then that way you can come into the gym over and over again. Indeed, that is in fact warm. The first movement that we're going to be covering is going to be running. You're going to be seeing some running later this week, and it's really important for us to make sure that we get our shins as well as our calves carefully managed. And so my biggest recommendation is actually using a foam roller, and you're going to be spending about 90 seconds per each one of these stretches. I like 90 seconds because of the fact that it's kind of like the minimum effective dose. If you do anything less than 90 seconds, you lose the benefit, but you're not going to get any sort of additional benefit when you go beyond the 2 minutes. So for starters, you're actually going to start off by rolling out your calf muscles. Your calf muscles start all the way from the base of your ankle all the way up to the base of your knee. So feel free to keep your butt down on the floor and roll yourself up and down. And if you want to apply a little bit more pressure, cross the legs so you can get more pressure through the calves. You're going to feel it pretty tender, and it's going to feel even greater after your run. But once we work on the back portion of our shins, we have to work on the front, which is why you're going to take the foam roller and you're going to take the meaty portion of your shin and you're going to place it right on top. Now, you're going to use both hands, giving you the opportunity to truly support yourself as you roll straight up and down. Now, this is particularly useful and helpful for folks who are experiencing a little bit of that discomfort, especially on the front of their shins after running long distances, or even something as little as a 400-meter run. The next movement that we're going to be covering is going to be squats. Squatting is one of my favorite activities, but if you are not built for squatting, or if you have really tight hips, squatting can actually be quite uncomfortable, which is why I often recommend when people are experiencing discomfort or tightness or even just soreness with squatting is to roll out the top half of your quad. And I often recommend, as if you were to put your hands in your pockets, that from here all the way up to the crease of your hip is often a very overlooked position. So if you take your roller and simply get onto your stomach and roll straight up and down, and don't forget to rotate your body. So then that way you can get not only the front, but also the side. And for those who are actually experiencing some IT band issues, which actually extends all the way down here, if you massage the higher portion of your thigh, you can actually loosen up this muscle called the tensor fascia lata, aka the TFL, and then I can actually reduce a lot of the rubbing that occurs at the IT band. And then last but not least, we have a fair amount of pulling this week, and so I'm going to encourage you to actually roll out your lats. And so your lat, if you were to raise your arm up, your lat actually starts a little bit, actually starts at your low back and extends all the way up to the base of your arm. But I'm actually going to have you address specifically maybe right below your shoulder blade all the way up to the outside of your armpit. We are not rolling out the armpit, because if you roll out the armpit, you're going to start feeling some pins and needles in your hand. So you're going to get onto your side, put the foam roller right underneath your shoulder blade with your chest facing forward/up, and you're going to use your top leg to roll up and down. So then that way you can really loosen up those lats. And it's key, it's really important that you are in fact breathing throughout this entire time, because if you hold your breath, you are going to create a lot of unnecessary tension in your body. And what's going to be really cool is that once you roll out your lats, it's great for a heavy pulling day, but also if you want to get your arms up overhead for presses or jerks, which is what we have this week, it's going to be really, really beneficial for you. Now, you want to make sure that you're symmetrical. So if you're doing one side, focus on the other. And again, we're looking at 90 seconds per body part.